Church of Mabus.
What's up?
Nothing much. I just had to adjust to this time change thing, and only one clock went to it, which was my laptop, and the rest, none of them did.
Yeah, Dan, I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, he thinks it's 11:30 or whatever.
And the funny thing is, I bitched about you at the time.
I know.
I'm a dick.
Sorry.
Your buddy John Shirley banned me today.
He banned you? Why?
Because he acted like an ass in that thread about the Budd Hopkins article my girlfriend did, and started attacking John Vasquez and all these other people. And basically he just went crazy and banned me. I didn't even say anything to him. He just went crazy. He's like skeptical nuts.
Yeah, dude, he's an idiot. Really, he is.
He's definitely got some issues. I mean, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But to get on to the point, we just, as you know, the Budd Hopkins Carol Rainey situation, we wanted to speak about that for about 20 minutes before Clifford Mahooty gets on, Zuni Shaman, Zuni Elder, Medicine Man, in a show entitled Shedding Skin. So basically what we're going to do is, as you know, there's the Emma Woods story and David Jacobs from Paratopia, and that story is about David Jacobs, pretty much just being a cuckoo about Emma Woods and doing weird stuff to her and implanting memories and asking for her panties and stuff during hypnosis. He hypnotized her over 91 times, which is just completely insane. So we know he's got some issues. But the problem is Paratopia has dragged Budd Hopkins into the same light as David Jacobs due to Carol Rainey, Budd Hopkins' ex-wife, coming forward and saying that the lady, I believe her name's Linda Cortell, said that, Carol Rainey said that Linda was faking it. And basically Paratopia's whole onslaught with Carol Rainey is that this one, mishap, we don't even know if it's a mishap really, with, but basically, they're trying to paint a picture of Budd Hopkins as like a David Jacobs type. And my girlfriend, Carrie Boyer, she's also with Mabus, our new group that we made that's a reporting center with Chase Kloetsky, Mabus Associated Bureau of UFO Studies. She wrote up an article because she used to be one of Budd's clients. So basically the article is on my Facebook page. You can find it on the forum, and she goes off on everything, gets into the fabric of it. She spent like a week writing it, and right now she's like resting from writing it because it's just like so draining. But Larry Warren's seen it, Richard Dolan, all sorts of people, and they support it and loved it, and that said that we could post it on their walls on Facebook. And basically it's just a big article speaking out about all this stuff. And yesterday on my Examiner it got 100 likes in one day, which is more than any article ever got on my Examiner. So we've been spreading the word.
Yeah, man, they blew it bringing in the ex-wife. Really, they just all credibility just kind of went out the window. I mean, she's got a documentary she's pimping, so it just corrupts everything that they've done, in my view, anyway. Listen, in my line of work, there's no room for hearsay and stuff like that. You either have the data or you don't. And now it's just turned into a big, people trying to get, I call it Emma-ploitation, part 2. Essentially what this is. You know what I mean? They're just all sucking on the teat. And they're dragging a guy that has done a lot for the field and has helped a lot of people. And, in my view, they're wrong doing this to him. Listen, David Jacobs, he's a scumbag. He is. He's, he misrepresented himself, said he was working with Temple, all sorts of things. And, people want to look at the Emma Woods story. They should go on Emma's website and, see all the stuff that she put up there. I question these people's motives. If it wasn't a cute exploited girl, would it be getting all this attention? No, it wouldn't. And people try to tell me otherwise. Oh, it doesn't matter, and it's BS. These guys are. Jeremy Gainey come running in there like her knight in a shining tracksuit. If you've watched the video blog of him and Ritzman talking, it's hilarious. I think it's part 4. You have Jeremy sitting on the couch in this big sweatsuit, and then his little burrito, as I call him, sitting in his little chair. And Jeremy asked Ritzman, he's like, "What do you think about hypnosis?" And Ritzman starts jumping around like Tom Cruise on the Oprah show. Hypnosis? Did you just ask me that question? Hypnosis? And I'm like, whoa, simmer down now. Yeah, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? And they have I was told that maybe I'm being competitive with those guys and or whatever. And listen. That's definitely not a case. We've never been competitive with those guys. We've continually blown them out of the water. They are, they're egomaniacs, whatever.
These are guys that tried to buy Mabus out from under us.
Yeah,
and got mad that we wouldn't merge with them, and it's turned into we're trying to get attention. Every time we do anything, we're trying to get attention. No, we're not trying to get attention. We already have attention. Last week, our show with Redfern on the network was like one of the highest shows on there, if not the highest show on there. It had over 1,500 listens, over 11,000 downloads, and God knows how many people were listening on the network the night it happened, 60,000 to 90,000 or whatever. We're already doing good. Mabus has been around for over 11 years in a different form, before... Jeremy even knew what a Paratopia was, a fart in a blanket. Paratopia didn't even exist when I made Mabus. So that's their excuse to try to get the attention off of someone standing up to them is, oh, they're just trying to get attention. While in the meantime, they're riding out the Emma Woods flame, and they're trying to make Budd Hopkins the continuation of that. Budd Hopkins lives with Leslie Keene, and she takes care of him. He's had cancer, and he still does. He lost a kidney from it, and he has it supposedly in his last remaining kidney. And basically, the guy's sick. He's 80 years old. Leave him alone. So maybe, let's say worst-case scenario, he made one mistake. Who doesn't make mistakes? In this field, people, if you make a mistake, they hang you out to dry like friggin' Christ on a cross. And that's what they're doing to him, just to continue their little story and their little buzz so they can try to feel important. And that's all they're doing. Yep. And the other thing I wanted to get into is Carrie Boyer, my beloved girlfriend. I finally met someone into aliens and UFOs, so it might actually work this time. But she basically called the crisis to, RAIN, the rape center, and told them all about this case and everything that was going on with it. And basically, they said it was sexual exploitation. And the whole point of the article is, why didn't Emma, well, not the whole point, the parts of it is, why didn't Emma, go to the law about this or do something with the law? Why go on a smear campaign and get all this, hype about it like it's a Hollywood story or something and, UFOs? She talked to all these counselors and got some very valuable insight in that article, and you can find it on our forum at MabusIncarnate.com in the Mabus section or on my wall Facebook, holding it nonstop. It's a great article, though, and it's really a slap in the face to all this is what I think. It's amazing, and she's a great investigative journalist. former client of Budd Hopkins. She don't like me to say patient because he's not a doctor, but I was like, well, what do I call you? She said, it took her a minute, too. It's kind of hard to find a word for that, client. Even though she didn't, I was like, well, did you pay him? She goes, no. She never had any trouble with him. He never did anything weird. He never made her feel uncomfortable. Nothing. Just a nice guy. Right. And we feel like it's time to rally the troops up and support Budd Hopkins and go against these people, these fiends, who are so hell-bent on, crucifying this guy and trying to put him in the same light so they can get their little, nerdy-herdy story out and get some more listeners. And now I'd like to add, I talked to a few people, and they stopped listening to Paratopia because, first off, they charge for every show, which just tells you apparently they're in it for the money completely, which I think it's weird to charge for every single show. It's just kind of strange. But they'll give you a free 30-minute listen for free every week of them talking together. Woo!
Well, you know what? I think it's all right. I don't see what's wrong with that. But I just don't think they're. I just have such a strong dislike for those two.
Yeah.
I've been privy to some stuff with those guys, and that's why I explicitly question their motives while doing this. It's they used Biedny and the Paracast to get, because there were nobodies before that. The nobody. I mean, they had a small circle, and Vaney was kind of known, but he was mostly known as a friggin' goofball. Comic relief type guy. And, they got friends with Biedny and all that, who I don't really care for now. And, they just rode that horse until they decided to go out on their own. And, you can listen to David Biedny interview and see what happened with those guys. But
basically what they did is they are doing this. They did the same thing to Paracast that they're saying that we're doing to them. Even if we don't think we're doing that with getting attention or whatever, they use the Paracast to shove off their situation. Jeff was involved with the Paracast, but Biedny, let's face it, he was the beacon of the Paracast. The rest of them were just like little henchmen or whatever.
Yeah, they're all just living under his shadow, and they're and Vaney is still trying to be that David Biedny type guy,
And he's doing a poor job of it. But David doesn't talk to me anymore either. I just don't care. He's just
no, he doesn't. He doesn't like us. He doesn't like us because I went to the the Biennale of America forums and and just put an end kind of to all the drama with Gene and all that, and he didn't like that.
Yeah.
So,
that's why I like our connection. There's no one here kissing each other's ass. You don't kiss ass. I don't kiss ass. We're our own selves. We don't, we're not like Gene Steinberg with David. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree because David agrees. But David's gone now, so will you be my friend because David talked about you?
Yeah.
We just don't do that because it's bullshit, quite frankly.
Well, it's insincere. It's produced. Me and you are the same on the show as we are in real life. I mean, we don't put on a mask and come do the show and put on a different voice and all this thing. And, we're the same people. And people, I think, get that. You know what I mean? So, that's why
of course they go, like Dave, and Jeff and Jeremy, they go into this whole other. Like, Jeremy's really a 40-year-old virgin that likes Michael Jackson and probably hasn't been laid in, like, ever or decades. And when he's on the show, it's like it's a whole nother personality change. It's like a schizophrenic, bipolar attack. He's not, it's all a show to, get people to laugh or get people to do this. It's all like this big act. And that's it's entertainment, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
To get attention. And it's like when they tried to quit Paratopia so many times. They even blamed us for it. And then all their little fanboys are like, please don't leave, Jeremy. Please don't leave, Jeff. We won't be able to find out the truth without you. And then they're like, okay, guys, since you love us, we'll come back. And they do that repeatedly. And